Hey guys, what's up? And today I have kind of a very useful data pack. If anything, this would be pretty freaking useful for anything really. You can use it anywhere. But this is a HP kind of showing system that works similar to how a mod would. So anytime that you hit an enemy, it will show their HP. And I'll probably add a setting later that you can toggle maybe that changes whether their name is visible from close or far. But pretty much if there is an enemy and you hit it, it will show its name with the HP above its head just like that. And it goes exactly based on the HP numbers, not the hearts. So a sword, as said in the game, does 7 attack damage. So the pig has 10 HP. So if we just summon a couple enemies here, you'll see that it works for every single enemy. I can hit it and it says zombie 13 out of 20, and maybe you already see what's going on. There is some work you can do to help better hide it, of course. I didn't get the perfect system for hiding what's going on. I have a couple options that you can choose between depending on what you want, but it works for literally every single mob in the game. Anytime they take damage, it works for bow type damage. So if I hit him with a bow, he will also lose his health. But the only thing it doesn't work for is players. Of course, I thought it was redundant to try and get it working for players because I can't change the physical player's name. There is a system I could use using teams and prefixes, but that would be pretty big. Maybe I will incorporate it in the future, but if you want to display the player's health, that's actually really easy. You just do scoreboard objectives, add health, just like that, and then do scoreboard objectives, set display, list health, and boom, if I hit tab, well, let me take some damage. All right, so I took some damage, so if I hit tab, it actually shows my hearts, and I can also put it below my name, set display below name health. So now if I was on a multiplayer server, people would see the word health with a number next to it below my name. So that's kind of redundant, but this system is pretty cool. So let's hop into the command world. So first I will quickly show you how to set up this data pack, how to install it, and then I will show you how it works because not everybody cares how it works. So you have to go to saves, then you have to go into your world save, you have to go to data packs, then you put the zip file into here. It'll be something like cw_show HP. Then you go into the folder and make sure that it doesn't say the folder again, because some archivers you'll get a folder in a folder. So just make sure it's not a folder in a folder. And after that, you're good. Now the rest of what you have to do if you want to change some stuff about this is pretty simple, and I'll go over it right now. But once you do that, you type /reload in your world and it'll already be running. So if you ever want to disable the data pack without deleting it, do /datapack disable and put in the name, and that'll turn it off. So one of the things that you can change about this is where it's showing, because it has to store one item somewhere on the entity unless you want to have a specific item. So by default, it will actually be on the head like this. When you open the file, you're gonna see all this messy code, but this is all that matters. These 3 locations where you see the hashtags. So here it's going to put the item that's a button on the entity's head. You can't put anything anywhere else unless it's so you can't put like a button on the chest plate because a button is not the proper item and it usually messes up if you try that. So I put it on the head. You have to have this for reasons I'll explain later, but if you want, you can either have it on the head or you can have it on the offhand. So I have it on the head because it's more convenient and more invisible, but you can uncomment this line, comment the line above it, then you uncomment this line and comment the line above it. Then you go into the show HP function and you comment that line and you uncomment the one below it. So let's just revert that real quick and type reload. Now, if I summon a villager, you'll see you can't really tell any difference. And when it's on the head, if I summon a zombie, you can't tell the difference. But if you were playing like a survival server, you'd probably want the zombie to burn. And here he's not gonna burn because he's in the daylight. Because he has a button on his head. That's why he doesn't burn. So that might be something that you don't want to do if you're in survival. You want to put it probably in the offhand, because most entities aren't going to use offhands if you're in survival. So how this works, I'll try and go kind of briefly. It's pretty simple. There's actually not that many commands. There's only 2 constantly running commands, and there's 2 functions, and that's really it. And there's 2 scoreboards, which might have been able to be reduced, but it's fine. So basically, you have an entity, right? Let's summon a villager. The villager does not have a custom name. He also, so the goal is to put this number thing next to their name. So there's a few things you got to do. For the very first time you hit him, you need to store his original name, regardless of what it is. So what we do is we put a birch sign at elevation 255, and people have told me before that they don't like this, but it's very slick. Like, you're not going to ever see the birch sign exist, because this whole function gets played before the next frame is updated. So you won't actually see a birch sign. It's kind of like a virtual birch sign. It is placing it, and it is destroying it. Now, one optimization you can do is you can put a birch sign in your world specifically for this data pack right there, and you can get the coordinates by doing /setblock and copying the coordinates, and then you can go into this file and go Control H tilde 255 tilde with those coordinates, and then you hit replace all, and then you go in here and you hit replace all, and then you delete the setblock sign commands. So you can do that, but I needed to make it set up so that anybody can just throw it in their world, and it works. So it creates a birch sign that it needs to use somewhere, and basically it gives the entity that is taking damage. So this is happening to anything that is not a special type of entity, which I've declared as like the player, arrows, stuff like that. So anything that's not this kind, anything that has a hurt time of 8 seconds, meaning it took damage, and does not have the tag, run the new function. So the new function sets a sign, gives that entity a special tag that denotes that this thing is being set up. It gives it a custom name visible of 1B, so you can see the name everywhere. So you can see the name in general. Then what it does is it changes their helmet, that's armor item 0, to be a stone button that has a name of test. Okay, then it copies, it makes the text on the sign the same as the entity's name, the selector being the entity, and that will put the entity's name on the sign. Then it takes the name on the sign and it puts it into the custom name of the entity, so the entity now has a new name. And then it also takes the custom name and puts it onto the name of the stone button. So that way we can store the original name. Doing this will work for even specific names, like if I have like a special one with a custom name of Hi, and when I hit Hi, well, you can already see his name says Hi. It doesn't say zombie. So it'll work if it's a custom name as well. So that just sets up and it removes the tags and it gives them a tag that says that they've already been set up. So that pretty much just sets up the storage of the name. Then the next thing we have is show HP. So now anytime that we have an entity that has the tag, so this will play immediately after it or any subsequent time something takes damage, we play the show HP function. And the show HP function, again, puts a sign, but instead we are grabbing the entity's health and their base health. So the base health is their maximum health, and they're based on an attribute, and their health is how much current health they have. Then it's making their custom name blank, okay? Then what we're doing is we are changing the text on the sign to be, first, it's going to be the name of this weird item, which is their stored name, their saved name. I couldn't take the previous name because if you take their original name without the saved name, what it does is it'll add an extra line of health text every single time, which is kind of weird, and you're just gonna get a really long name. Okay, so it grabs their name, the stored name, then it grabs their score of their HP and their score of their HP max, and then that's it. So that's all it does, and it creates that kind of text but on a sign. then it copies the text from the sign into their name, and boom, it's done. So there you go. So first we save the word villager into them somewhere, then we take it out, we add this little thing on at the end, and we slap it back in their name. And that's pretty much it. There might be some optimization in some places, but this is just a quick video because I'm also working on a bunch of other things, so I couldn't take a lot of time on a video. But anyways, guys, hopefully you found that useful or kind of cool. And you can download this data pack, use it wherever you want, I don't really care. Other than that, thanks for watching.